Football's ultimate defender, making Messi run scared. Episode 96, Benz's Tyrannosaurus Rex is online? A kick will definitely score a goal, Klopp believes in light. The power of the football is very strong. The ball crashed into the net of Real Madrid's goal, and it hit the net madly, as if it was going to break the net. Navas looked at the football with a dull look. He could still react to Chen Mo's sudden shot. Negative emotion value from Navas, plus 632, there was no save action. He just didn't see it. The football went in a blink of an eye. Not only Navas didn't react. The Real Madrid defense didn't react either. Ramos and Varane were a little bit unbelievable. After they reacted, they all gave negative emotion values to Chen Mo. Negative emotion value from Varane, plus 137. Negative emotion value from Ramos, plus 231. After all, he is a Real Madrid player. A member of the 2 consecutive championships. He has really seen and experienced too many big things, and he has long trained a real big heart. Duh, a harsh whistle sounded. The referee raised his hand and pointed to the center circle to indicate that the goal was valid. In an instant, the fans who were dumbfounded just now and didn't react to the goal all burst into huge roars. Liverpool fans cheered wildly. They probably really didn't expect it. The goal came so quickly. But now they reacted and were so happy. They roared with red faces. Chen Mo, who ran to them and made a domineering gesture, raised his arms high and shouted Chen Mo's name. "Worship your king." Real Madrid fans were also awakened from their disbelief by the cheers of Liverpool fans. They booed Chen Mo strongly. The sky was full of boos and enthusiastic roars. Mixed together, the whole stadium became boiling and the atmosphere became more tense. In the stands, Florentino's face was no longer smiling. He stared at Chen Mo, who was dominating the field, with a serious look. That greed was not concealed, and it was used on other people's faces. Especially the Fenway chairman who was closest to him. He felt the threat from Nong Nong. "It's a really good goal, isn't it?" He took the initiative to speak. He wanted to interrupt Florentino's thoughts. But the moment he said it, he suddenly found that the owners of the clubs around him, the eyes looking at him changed. He was inexplicably flustered by being stared at. The eyes of these guys were like robbers, and he was the target they were targeting. A bunch of crazy people. They all want to rob my players. There is no good person among them. Nasser of Paris Saint-Germain just spoke. He immediately interrupted the other party and said directly, "The club will not accept the acquisition. We will not sell Mo. We already have a contract and will renew it with him soon. We will give him the top salary in the top 5 leagues." Just kidding. Sell Chen Mo? He is not crazy. In just half a season, Chen Mo attracted so many female fans to join, and the jerseys alone sold nearly 20 million. Not to mention that every home game, Anfield is full, and there will be female fans from all over the world who want to watch the game. Regarding Chen Mo's peripheral products, whether it is football, scarves, or other products, they will be sold out every time. The madness of girls chasing stars is absolutely unimaginable. Especially in the more open West. That is much crazier than those so-called idol fans in Longwa. In addition to the fan effect brought by Chen Mo. Relying on Chen Mo, Liverpool has increased its popularity in the world. Liverpool also reaped the benefits that Manchester United once reaped from Beckham. It has greatly increased Liverpool's influence in Asia. It has become the most well-known Premier League team in Asia. There are also Asia, America, and those crazy companies that have brought huge economic cooperation to Liverpool. Any advertisement at Anfield Stadium was snapped up by those rich people from Asia for a sky-high price. Selling such a super cash cow, superstar, super player? He must have been kicked in the head by a donkey. With Chen Mo here, Liverpool's performance will be lowered, and the economy will get better and better. The positive impact brought by him alone can even make the club more glorious. Selling the foundation. Whether from the competitive level or the economic level, it is equivalent to killing oneself. He even has the idea of selling a Dragon player back to further develop the Dragon market. But Florentino couldn't help but speak. "No buts. Unless I die. Otherwise I will never sell Mo." Anxious. The chairman of Fenway was anxious. This moment made these guys shut up. No way. Looking at this situation, whoever asks will be beaten. No one expected the start. In less than 10 minutes, Liverpool scored and took the lead over the favorite Real Madrid. After several consecutive passes and cooperation, it was easy to break through the defense of Real Madrid. When Firmino headed back to make a cannon, the superstars of Real Madrid seemed to have forgotten Chen Mo, the heavy gunner in the midfield. Even Casemiro underestimated Chen Mo. They didn't give Chen Mo the defensive strength he should have, and didn't protect the top of the penalty area. But it was precisely Chen Mo's goal. The stars of Real Madrid began to gradually enter the game state. Especially Cristiano Ronaldo. He was very dissatisfied with the team falling behind. The whole person seemed very angry. After the game resumed, he became more active, frequently dribbling the ball to attack Liverpool's wing. But he was blocked by Chen Mo. He failed to break through 5 times in a row. Chen Mo was so angry that he jumped up and down. But Chen Mo was not able to steal the ball again. Ronaldo played very smartly. He protected the ball very tightly and deliberately pulled Chen Mo away, not giving Chen Mo the opportunity to get close to him. This made it impossible for Chen Mo to steal the ball. But the restriction on the left side. It also made it difficult for Real Madrid to break through Ronaldo. Real Madrid began to slow down the offensive rhythm again. The formation began to retreat again, and the ball was passed quickly in the backcourt. A wave of continuous attacks. Cristiano Ronaldo on the left was restricted by Chen Mo. Although he did not lose the ball and Chen Mo did not take the initiative to steal the ball, he still did not open up the offensive situation. Real Madrid began to stabilize the rhythm and started to pass the ball in the backcourt. Real Madrid's ball possession rate is currently much higher than Liverpool. It is not a good thing for Liverpool that the ball is always not at their feet. A 1-goal lead is not safe. Liverpool still has to find a way to completely open up the situation. Huang Jianxiang's analysis is very reasonable. Liverpool also quickly pressed forward and started pressing again. Klopp obviously does not know how to play a defensive counterattack. He has always used offense and goals to completely crush the opponent's hopes. 1 goal is far from enough. However, at the moment when Liverpool pressed forward, Modric bypassed Milner. He quickly flicked the ball and passed it horizontally to Kroos, who came to respond. The moment Kroos held the ball, Henderson did not rush forward to fight for the ball immediately, giving Kroos enough time. This gave Kroos the space and opportunity to pass the ball. Kroos raised his left arm and pointed forward, while kicking the ball with his right foot. A long pass. The moment the Real Madrid striker pointed, he had already turned his head and charged. The moment he passed the ball, Benzema just broke through the back line and successfully countered the offside. The ball passed Liverpool's entire formation and fell directly into the Liverpool backfield penalty area. Because the formation was too far forward, the backfield gap was very large. There was only goalkeeper Karius. Kroos is pointing the way. Benzema is offside. It's a 1-on-1. Liverpool is in danger. Karius took the initiative to attack. Benzema got the ball first. The situation on the field was in crisis instantly. Especially Liverpool. Benzema got the ball first in the penalty area, and took the ball first after the indecisive Karius. Facing Karius, who rushed in front of him. He was not in a hurry. He adjusted his feet quickly. Then he quickly flicked the ball to the left with the outside of his left foot, opened up a little space, and took the opportunity to shoot directly. Karius' heartbeat accelerated wildly. Seeing Benzema's shooting action, he reacted hurriedly. He rushed out fiercely, trying to block Benzema's shot. But at the moment he jumped out, Benzema's left foot, which was about to shoot, fell suddenly. There was no shot. It was a fake shot. The inside of his left foot suddenly pulled back in the opposite direction and dribbled the ball. He pushed his right foot forward and passed Karius, who was completely on the ground, and faced Liverpool's empty goal directly. Just when he passed Karius, see Ronaldo's roar came. See Ronaldo, who was no longer restricted by Chen Mo, rushed up along the sideline. He yelled at Benzema for the ball. Facing the empty goal. What a good chance to score. See Ronaldo shouted anxiously, but Benzema seemed not to hear it. Why should I pass the ball? He is not just the scapegoat Benzema, he is the dignified Ben's Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now the account of Ben's Tyrannosaurus Rex is online. He raised his foot with great momentum and shot a light lob towards the empty goal. Karius, who rolled and climbed up from the grass, just saw Benzema shooting at an empty goal. He hurriedly chased after the football. But he couldn't catch up at all. Watching the football fall into his own goal, Karius was desperate at this moment. The team had just opened the game for less than 10 minutes. As a result, because he took the initiative to attack and made a mistake in predicting the save, the team immediately lost a goal and was tied by Real Madrid. He was the sinner of this game. But just when he was desperate in his heart, sinking to the bottom of the sea, and his eyes were full of darkness. A red figure suddenly rushed out. The opponent ran all the way with sparks and lightning. Straight in front of the goal. Number 10. That was Chen Mo's back. The reason why Ronaldo was able to suddenly rush out was the moment when Cruz passed the ball. Chen Mo decisively gave up defending him. He rushed all the way to the backcourt and rushed straight to Benzema. Everything is so damn familiar. Cruz is showing the way. Liverpool's formation is close to the front and back courts, with a big gap. The ball falls into the penalty area. Karius takes the initiative to attack. Although he can't guarantee that it must be, it is exactly the same, he dare not guard against it. So he ran all the way. The purpose is to rush up to block the shot. But it is different from what he remembered. Karius did not make a mistake, and Benzema's aura of intelligence reduction suppressed him. He didn't even get the ball first. It can be considered as no mistake. It's normal to fail to predict. Benzema passed him and faced the empty goal directly. Chen Mo accelerated again. Whether it was a gift from Karius or not, he had to go back to clean up his *** now. The reason why Ronaldo yelled at Benzema for the ball. It's really not that he wants to take advantage and snatch Benzema's chance to score an empty goal. He was completely scared by Chen Mo. Seeing Chen Mo rushing towards Benzema, he was really anxious. Shouting to hurry up. That didn't mean a quick pass, he meant for Benzema to shoot quickly. Benzema misunderstood the meaning, but he didn't insist on shooting. When he saw him shoot, Ronaldo breathed a sigh of relief. But his heart was hanging in his chest again. He rushed to the goal, and Benzema was also startled by Chen Mo, who suddenly rushed out, and rushed up. Chen Mo ran towards the goal, and the ball was about to fall into the goal. Chen Mo didn't care about that. He threw himself out directly. He kicked the bottom of the ball. The whole stadium was silent. Everyone stared at this scene with their hearts hanging in their throats. Benzema fooled Karius. Kicked into the empty goal. Karius couldn't catch up. It's over. Chen Mo rushed out. Extreme clearance. The ball didn't go in. Chen Mo made an extreme clearance on the goal line, he knocked the ball out of the bottom line, beautiful. Chen Mo saved Liverpool. Benzema passed Karius and shot into the empty goal. Liverpool was about to be pushed off the cliff. Chen Mo stood up. He ran 130 meters from the front field. In front of the goal line, he threw his body and cleared Benzema's sure goal with his toes. Awesome. Mo. Good job. Awesome. F***K. You are a hero. Chen Mo made an extreme clearance. Liverpool fans, who were sweating coldly, roared excitedly. So inspiring. Such an extreme clearance was amazing. Qi Xian, Zhao, Zhong was dumbfounded. His big hand kept stroking his big bald head, with an incredible look on his face. Klopp excitedly punched and roared. Klopp was completely desperate just now. Full of darkness. But Chen Mo appeared at this moment. He looked at Chen Mo, who was picked up from the grass by Karius, and a beam of light happened to hit the number on Chen Mo's back. Glittering. Klopp was stunned. Because of the scene in front of him, he believed that there was really light in this world. That light was not Ultraman who saved the Earth, but Chen Mo who saved Liverpool. Well done. Good job. Awesome. Mo. You are my god. Karius and the three defenders Van Dijk, Matip, and Lovren rushed to Chen Mo and shouted excitedly. They released their emotions recklessly. Chen Mo just now was really encouraging. But Chen Mo pushed them away and cast his eyes on Benzema, who looked lost. Dex. Chen Mo punched himself in the chest and roared at Benzema. Want to play big? Ben's Tyrannosaurus Rex is online, is it allowed to hide? Van Dijk and others followed and roared at Benzema. This is a kind of pressure on Benzema's momentum. Defenders and goalkeepers will often roar at the opponent's forwards, especially when they block their must goals. Not only can they put pressure on the opponent, but they will also hit the opponent's confidence. Think about those world-class goalkeepers and defenders, they are all nightmares of the opponent's forwards. It will even make the opponent's forwards fearful. Negative emotion value from Benzema, plus 362. Obviously this guy was scared. Top. Goal line limit clearance, halftime chase. This reminds me of the former Dragon Country son, Chen Mo Nyobi. After hearing what the above person said, I suddenly feel like crying. We once had such a top player. Damn. We not only had him before, but we almost have him now. Episode 97, Ronaldo blocks a shot, a sneaky striker. Pharaoh sheds tears on the court, Longwa. A northern city. Long was Sun Jihai, who finished the youth training. He also watched the Champions League final with the youth players. Most of the players are Real Madrid fans. Almost all of them are Ronaldo fans. There is no way. Melo's influence is too strong, especially on children. Many children and young players choose to join the youth training because of Melo. Therefore, most of the young players wear Real Madrid jerseys. Cheer for Real Madrid in front of the screen. Some young fans kept asking Sun Jihai about Ronaldo. After all, Sun Jihai once defended Ronaldo alone in the Manchester derby. Sun Jihai answered with a smile. At the same time, his eyes were always on Chen Mo on the screen. He was lucky to defend Ronaldo alone. And Ronaldo at that time was still a young Ronaldo, not the current Ronaldo. At that time, it was already very difficult to defend Ronaldo alone. If it were now, Sun Jihai was sure that he couldn't defend it at all. But Chen Mo was so relaxed. He cut off Real Madrid's attack on the left without any effort. He even managed to defend C. Romario alone. Terrifyingly strong. He couldn't help but recall the scene of his participation in the Manchester City derby in the Premier League. But at this moment, the situation on the field suddenly changed. Cruz showed the way. A long pass penetrated Liverpool. Benzema faked a shot past Karius. Beautiful. I knew Real Madrid could equalize. Pass the ball to C. Ronaldo. Benzema can shoot himself. Empty goal. The young players cheered. They stood up and waved their arms excitedly. Celebrate the goal in advance. They thought it was an empty goal and it would definitely score. But at this moment, the player wearing number 10, who had just scored a goal, rushed out. He cleared the ball with an extreme kick. Kicked away Benzema's sure goal. The young players seemed to have pressed the still button, and they all lowered their heads in frustration. Beautiful. Sun Jihai blurted out. He stared at the screen, looking at Chen Mo's figure, feeling extremely excited. It was as if he was back in the Premier League. Back to that game. He ran 100 meters to clear the ball with an extreme kick. Chen Mo's figure was full of his shadow when he was young. Chen Mo cleared the ball with an extreme kick. Let's not only think of 10 years ago. Sun Jihai, the Dragon Country son who played for Manchester City. He also proposed such a crazy performance. Think about that time. Our players played in the Premier League, think about our dragon foot at that time. Of course I thought they were just the beginning of the 380 dragon foots takeoff, but I didn't expect it to be our strongest peak. Commentator. Huang Jianxiang, Wang Tao, Zhang Jun, and several others sighed. These words reached Sun Jihai's ears. The other young players also heard it very clearly, and they all looked at their youth training coach with admiration. They probably didn't expect that their head coach was so good when he was young. Then, they saw their coach's eyes were red. No one would miss their youth. They didn't want to be compared to their youth. Real Madrid got a corner kick. Marcelo took the corner kick. C. Ronaldo entered the penalty area. Ramos also ran up. Comparing the height of the two teams, Liverpool is indeed at a disadvantage. C. Ronaldo, Benzema, Ramos, Casemiro, these 3 points are very threatening. Marcelo ran up. C. Danger. The football was passed to the front of the penalty area by Marcelo. It was looking for Ronaldo, who suddenly stepped forward. Ronaldo looked at the football and jumped up high. Matip, who retreated to defend in front of him, also jumped up quickly to meet the football. He wanted to intercept it in the air in advance. Karius was so scared that he moved sideways and prepared to block Ronaldo's header at any time. Although Matip and Ronaldo are about the same height, the two people jumped at the same time. But the jumping ability of the two people is very different. In the air, Ronaldo was obviously half a body taller than Matip. At this moment, Ronaldo's terrifying jumping ability and abnormal air-staying ability that were enough to be proud of the world were fully demonstrated. He overpowered Matip. Eyes fixed on the football. Quickly adjust your body and twist your head. Facing the falling football, prepare to record a perfect header. On the other hand, Matip has already landed on the grass. He turned his head in panic to look at Ronaldo behind him, wanting to take remedial measures quickly. But the moment he turned his head, Matip saw a scene that stunned him and shocked him beyond words. He opened his mouth and eyes involuntarily, looking at the scene in front of him in disbelief. Ronaldo jumped up and stayed in the air, swinging his head towards the football. But behind him, a red figure also jumped high. It was half a head taller than Ronaldo. The black hair and blue pupils were unusually conspicuous. He also showed a terrifying ability to stay in the air. Ronaldo headed the ball. The football changed direction instantly, just when it was about to fall directly towards the goal. A head suddenly popped out in front of him. That's right. It's Chen Mo. The height he lifted was not enough to press Ronaldo in the air to intercept the football. So he could only predict it. At the moment when Ronaldo headed the ball, he leaned forward and used his head to block the football that Ronaldo headed. Yeah. The football hit Chen Mo's head. At this moment, Chen Mo headed down fiercely. He pushed the football that hit his head down. He headed it into the arms of Karius, who was stunned and watching the two people in front of him performing the aerial competition. He subconsciously hugged the football. Then he fell heavily on the grass at the same time as Ronaldo. Negative emotion value from Ronaldo, plus 239. Ronaldo stared with shock on his face. He knew his jumping ability. But it was precisely because he knew himself that he was so surprised and had a wave of emotions. Blocked shot. Blocked shot. Wang Tao shouted excitedly. Huang Jianxiang and Zhang Jun were stunned. They heard Wang Tao shouting and were frightened. Blocked shot. Chen Mo competed with Ronaldo for the header, and Ronaldo headed the ball into the goal. Chen Mo used his head to block a basketball shot in midair. Block a shot. He knocked down Ronaldo's header and headed it to goalkeeper Karius. Wang Tao opened his eyes wide and screamed with his mouth wide open without caring about his image. This is Ronaldo. Chen Mo actually blocked Ronaldo's shot. What a terrifying jumping ability, what a terrifying heading ability. Compared to Ronaldo, it's exactly the same. Thinking about Chen Mo's shooting skills and dribbling ability, he can definitely play as a striker or a center forward. Too versatile. Can you imagine a midfielder, or a defensive midfielder, who can compete for headers as well as a center forward? How can it not be amazing? Oh my god, this is too amazing. I knew Chen Mo's jumping and air-staying ability was strong before. But I never thought it could be this strong. There is really no dead angle in restricting Ronaldo. Even Ronaldo's header can be blocked. Is there anything Chen Mo can't do? Chen Mo definitely made a great contribution in this game. Goal. Extreme clearance. Header block. Too fierce. On the sidelines. When seeing Ronaldo's header succeed, Zidane had already punched and started celebrating. But the next second, Chen Mo's block was like a big fight, and Wolf slapped him in the face. His eyes were so clear. Is there anything more sobering than this? Zidane felt that his shiny head was numb. He could actually keep pace with Ronaldo in the air, and even suppress Ronaldo slightly, and blocked Ronaldo in the header. He thought Ronaldo was already inhuman, but Chen Mo was even more inhuman. At the same time, he paid more attention to Chen Mo's actions just now. Almost at the same time when Ronaldo headed the ball, he had already leaned forward and hit the ball with his head. This is a detail. But he was close here, so he was still keenly captured. He stroked his big bald head with his hand. Another advanced prediction? This prediction ability is too terrible. He has been observing Chen Mo since the beginning of the game. Because Florentino told him with certainty that Chen Mo would be the super midfielder who broke the monopoly of Messi and Ronaldo on the Golden Ball Award and the monopoly of the Golden BBCH Ball Award by the forwards. This made him very interested. After all, he had interrupted the striker's monopoly on the Ballon d'Or as a midfielder. As he observed, he found Chen Mo's terrifyingness. Zidane began to frown. Chen Mo was on the left. It was difficult for Ronaldo to open up the situation. Now the game was behind, and it was only the first half, but the situation had become stalemate. This was definitely not a good sign. Isco's role was not obvious, and he was dispensable on the field. He was a single front midfielder in front, and he could not provide support to the striker at all. Thinking of this, Zidane couldn't help but look at Bale, who was crying for food on the bench. How about a substitution? He just had this idea. The Real Madrid fans in the stands suddenly cheered. He looked at the court fiercely. I saw that the Liverpool players who were about to advance stopped one after another, and looked back helplessly at the direction of their own goal. In front of the goal, Karius was lost, as if he had lost his soul in decadence. Van Dijk, who was less than 5 meters in front of him, looked at him in disbelief. Obviously, Van Dijk was very shocked at the moment. And in the corner area, Benzema celebrated excitedly, and other Real Madrid players ran over excitedly. A group of people shouted excitedly to the fans in the stands. Chen Mo in the midfield almost turned green. I didn't pay attention to this, Karius gave me a hard lesson. You can just kick the ball normally in the counterattack. You have to throw the ball by hand. As a result, you threw the ball by hand, and the defender didn't even notify you, and no one received you. When you throw the ball, can't you check if there's anyone behind you? Or is Benzema's aura of intelligence reduction too powerful, and you've been dumbfounded by it? Karius. What a huge mistake. He suddenly threw the ball with a crazy knife, and the ball went to Benzema, who suddenly rushed out from behind him. It's just outrageous. Can't you check if there's anyone behind you? You ruined the lead. Why did you suddenly get sick at this time? Jean Jun couldn't help but want to curse. The questioning was about to make his mentality collapse. Wang Tao's face turned green. No word. Huang Jianxiang was fine. Karius made a mistake this time. It directly ruined Liverpool's lead. The two sides were on the same starting line again in the 36th minute of the first half. I'm convinced. Karius started again. Why do I feel like Liverpool is going to be finished? Benzema is a sneaky striker. Look at the defense. Benzema's expression behind Karius is like a thief. Sneaky striker? A new breed? Don't say it. Benzema's expression just now really has a sneaky meaning. Deal. The referee blew the whistle. The game started again. Firmino kicked off the game for Liverpool and passed the ball back to Chen Mo. Maybe Benzema was very excited after scoring a goal to help the team equalize the score. He was still thinking about continuing to make contributions. The moment Chen Mo got the ball, this guy rushed towards, Chen Mo rushed forward. No probing. No pressing, he came up with a knife and was ready to use a strong physical confrontation to push Chen Mo away and grab the football. How could Chen Mo give him a chance? Grab the ball from under his feet? Do you really think he is as bad as Karius, who can let you sneak in? Physical confrontation, right? Then I'll teach you a lesson, let you know that you can't judge a person by his appearance. Chen Mo faced Benzema's body and hit him sideways without hesitation. At the same time, he protected the ball with his feet, knocked the ball backwards with his left foot, pulled the ball with the inside of his right foot to avoid Benzema's collision, and stretched out his face to hook the ball. Bang! The two people collided hard. It was just a moment, and Benzema, who was originally full of strong confidence, was suddenly full of disbelief when Chen Mo came to meet him. The body couldn't control the center of gravity. The collision with Chen Mo felt a burning pain in his body. It felt like he was hit by a car. It felt like he hit a concrete wall. Chen Mo was safe and sound, his face unchanged. He pushed the ball forward with the inside of his right foot, followed by his body, and passed Benzema, who had already fallen to the ground. He aimed at Real Madrid's forward formation. The large gap left by Marcelo's forward run. He immediately passed the ball through the gap between Kroos and Casemiro with the outside of his right foot. The moment Casemiro saw Chen Mo pass the ball, he immediately predicted the direction of the ball and quickly moved towards main. But who knew? Chen Mo passed the ball with the outside of his foot towards main but turned halfway. He drew a 230-degree arc on the grass. He rushed behind Klopp and Marcelo. TOBB. Sulla rushed out like an assassin. Casemiro, Marcelo, and Kroos were all sweating and hurriedly chased after him. But Sulla didn't give him a chance to catch up. He hurriedly moved forward to dribble the ball and join his sprint. However, at this moment, Real Madrid captain Ramos rushed up to fill in the position. Sulla quickly blocked his stealing space with his body and raised his arm to block Ramos, who was standing sideways. He quickly moved the ball forward with his feet. His body couldn't stop leaning back because of Ramos's pull. His neck was almost locked by Ramos' arm that crossed his arm. Chen Mo, who saw this scene, was so anxious that his heartbeat accelerated wildly. He hurriedly yelled at Sulla. Be careful. Don't let Ramos. But his loud warning was interrupted by Sulla's shrill scream before he could finish it. Ah! Sulla screamed and fell to the ground with Ramos. Ramos pressed Sulla's arm tightly under his body. Before the referee could see clearly and run over, Latch hurriedly climbed up from the grass. He didn't give the referee a chance to see clearly that he had just deliberately hugged Sulla's arm and pressed it under his body. The referee blew the whistle immediately. The game was suspended. Sulla, lying on the grass, covered his extremely painful arm with an extremely hideous expression. Tears could not stop flowing. He knew. He was finished. Episode 98, Shueye's acting skills are crowned the best. Ronaldo's power creates miracles. Chen Mo flies to block the shot. When Sulla and Ramos were fighting for the ball, an accident happened, and both of them fell to the ground. The referee stopped the game. Looking at the situation just now, it should be Ramos, and Sulla's hand was moving. They also lost their balance and fell to the ground together, The referee is calling the team doctor in the direction of Liverpool. Sully's expression is very painful, he has already started to suffer. In the broadcast room. Seeing Sully's painful expression crying. The three of them realized that something might have really happened from what they subconsciously thought was an ordinary foul just now. The doctor quickly rushed onto the court. Klopp ran to the fourth official angrily to express his dissatisfaction. He thought Ramos had just committed a deliberate foul. On the court. Liverpool players also rushed to the referee and Ramos. Especially Firmino. He saw it most clearly. At the moment of falling, Ramos used his two arms to press Sully's arms under his body. Until the moment of falling, he quickly released his arms and pressed Sully's arms hard with his body. This was definitely a deliberate foul. He just wanted to kill Sully. Real Madrid players also hurried forward to help explain. Ramos explained to the referee with an innocent look on his face. We both made some moves just now, and when we fell, our bodies completely lost their balance. I didn't do it on purpose. There was no malicious foul. I don't even know what happened. He might be pretending to be injured. Don't think he's not from La Masia. Shuey's acting skills are definitely up to the level of La Masia Film and Television Academy. Especially those two innocent big eyes. Anyone who looks at him will think he is very innocent. Liverpool players were immediately angered by Ramos' words. You don't admit it? I saw it clearly just now, it's clear that you did it on purpose. You want to destroy Sully. Firmino rushed forward angrily and bumped into Ramos. For a while, a big conflict broke out between the two sides. But the protagonist of the story, Ramos, who was particularly hot-tempered on weekdays, did not have any anger at all. He did not react when being pushed, let alone being furious. He always looked like a victim. Until the referee separated the two sides and gave Firmino, Maine, and the Japanese a yellow card. The two sides ended. At this time, Ramos, who fell behind his teammates, showed a smug smile. But all this fell on Chen Mo's eyes. Ramos also noticed Chen Mo's eyes, and the smile on his face disappeared instantly, replaced by an arrogant expression. He even made an arrogant and provocative gesture of wiping his neck towards Chen Mo. It was obvious that he wanted to anger Chen Mo and drag Chen Mo into the water. Once Chen Mo had an extra yellow card, it would be very beneficial to them. But Chen Mo was not fooled at all, but showed an intriguing smile. He remembered this guy. He got up quickly, even if he had to return to defense, he still escaped, and was even very proud of it. There is no VR in the current game, and it will not be used on a large scale until the end of the World Cup. So Ramos's foul was not seen by the referee, so he would naturally be spared. He didn't think about Ramos anymore. Instead, he sighed heavily and came to Sully, whose face was already full of tears. The team doctor kept checking him and shook his head quickly. Obviously, the injured left shoulder made it impossible for him to continue playing. The team doctor made a substitution gesture to Klopp. Sully burst into tears. He suddenly thought of what Chen Mo had told him. Be careful of Ramos. Now he only had endless regrets for not taking Chen Mo's words to heart. Seeing Chen Mo approach him, he raised his hand with his uninjured arm and grabbed Chen Mo. Mo. You must win the game. Please bring back the Big Air Cup. Sully cried and begged Chen Mo, telling him his request. This was his first Champions League final. He didn't expect to leave in this way. He was extremely frustrated. He even worried that Liverpool would lose the championship because of this. So he grabbed Chen Mo. Although they had only been together for half a year, his trust in Chen Mo had already reached an unprecedented level. Even in the despair against Manchester City, Chen Mo could lead them to fight out. Chen Mo had become a backer in his heart. So he begged Chen Mo to win the game and get the championship. Get treatment. If you go to the hospital right away, you can wait off the court. Wait for your medal. Chen Mo pulled him up from the ground, patted him on the back, and made his promise. Although he failed to prevent Sully from getting injured. But he has already stepped onto the Champions League field, even if Ramos played dirty. Don't take the trophy away. Since he is here. He never thought of leaving empty-handed, he came to kick Real Madrid's dream of 3 consecutive championships. I'll wait for you. Sully nodded heavily to Chen Mo. He trusts Chen Mo's promise very much. As long as Chen Mo promised, and he will definitely do it. Accompanied by the team doctor, Sully walked off the field, and Liverpool teammates ran over to comfort Sully. Wijnaldum, who was substituted, hugged him and said something in his ear. I'll go and avenge you. I've got my eyes on that Ramos. Then he rushed onto the field. Klopp took the initiative to wrap up Salah, and said, "Go get treatment. Accidents are inevitable. I'm waiting to get the medal." "I'm silent," Salah answered seriously. Klopp immediately looked at the field, and Chen, who had retreated to his position in the half, Mo. The sense of crisis and panic caused by Salah's injury at the airport disappeared instantly. "Team doctor. Go to the locker room for further examination. If he doesn't need to go to the hospital immediately, let him stay first." Klopp patted him on the back, which was considered to be agreeing to Salah's request to stay. Sure enough, Salah can't keep playing. When he just fell down, he was already in tears. He must have realized that he couldn't continue such a crucial game. As Liverpool's top scorer, he must want to perform well and make contributions to the team. But he must be very frustrated in his heart with such a result. Coming all the way from the pyramid, after several years of hard work, he finally reached the top of the Champions League. The hardships and grievances along the way have all turned into tears of regret at this moment. The three people in the broadcasting room were all in a heavy mood. While feeling sorry for Salah, they were more worried about Liverpool's next game. Before leaving the game, Salah deliberately pulled Chen Mo. "I should have given all my expectations to Chen Mo." It can be seen that Salah has a close relationship with Chen Mo, and trusts him in Chen Mo. Jean Jin explained. The screen changed. The replay just now began to repeat. Seeing this scene, Wang Tao slammed the table in indignation. "Ramos, this is a foul. Flagship foul. What on earth is the referee doing? He actually let Ramos escape. He is simply helping the evil. Catch the thief first. This is not a foul, I will eat the shit upside down, F***K. It's a shoulder throw." He also pressed Salah with his whole body, he definitely did it on purpose, look at the speed he got up. He didn't give the referee a chance to check, obviously this is a premeditated foul, shoulder throw. F***K. Look at his smug smile, and he is so mean to Chen Mo jump, Wang, times. Salah should have injured his left shoulder, maybe dislocated, or strained hamstring ligament. Liverpool is in trouble. In the broadcast, Ramos hid behind his teammates, showing a smug smile, and even made a provocative gesture of wiping Chen Mo's neck, which appeared on the broadcast. Everyone in the stand saw it clearly. The chairman of Fenway Group gave his face, staring at Florentino with a murderous look. Is this the player of Real Madrid? Is this the captain of the best club in the world? He is simply a murderer. Did you give the referee a favor, not even giving a yellow card? Florentino's mouth twitched. He obviously disagreed with the other party's words, and he was even very happy in his heart. Salah is out. Liverpool lost a sharp blade for attacking. Real Madrid is getting closer and closer to the 3 consecutive championships. But facing the owner of the other club, he still couldn't show it. Even without imagining, as long as the real thoughts are spoken out, the other party will definitely take action without regard for face and demeanor. He has noticed that the other party's fist is hard. Accident. Any accident on the football field is possible? After this, the chairman of Fenway did not buy it at all, and he pointed to the big screen to replay it again. Is this an accident? Wrestling action can also be an accident? Press down and withdraw your hand in time, and then get up at the first time. Is this an accidental action? Seeing that the chairman of Fenway is getting more and more excited, the owners of several other clubs have tried to persuade him kindly. Fearing a fight, Klopp replaced Wijnaldum. Looking at this situation, it should be a direct 352 formation. Let Henderson be in the middle, and Wijnaldum Chen Mo on both sides. Form a 3 midfielder position in the midfield. Real Madrid's quick counterattack. After the start of the game, Liverpool's formation after Wijnaldum came on the court was still being introduced. The situation on the field suddenly changed. Chamberlain returned to the spot and quickly launched an attack with a lob pass to Firmino in the penalty area. But Varane grabbed the ball in advance and headed it off. Casemiro grabbed the ball outside the penalty area and immediately passed it to Modric. Real Madrid launched an attack directly from the right. Because of Ronaldo's containment on the left, Chen Mo could not give up defending Ronaldo and go to support the left. Asking for flowers, 0, that's it. Isco, Modric, Carvajal, 3 people on the left, performed a rapid attack. All the way to the outside of Liverpool's penalty area. Ronaldo quickly entered the penalty area. The fullback Carvajal, who was inserted on the side, immediately made a cross to Ronaldo. Ronaldo and Chen Mo jumped high at the same time to compete for the header. The two were strong in the air, and their bodies had a lot of confrontation. In the end, Under the shocked eyes of everyone, including Ronaldo's shock. He lost a lot of Chen Mo's confrontation in the header. Very surprised about Chen Mo's body. Although he is so thin, his fighting ability is so strong. The moment of the mid-air collision. He felt as if his body hit a steel plate. He was overwhelmed by Chen Mo. In the end, he lost and watched Chen Mo head the ball. Negative emotion value from Cristiano Ronaldo, plus 222. In the air, Chen Mo headed the ball to Henderson at the top of the penalty area. But his heading ability is not strong. He only has top-level jumping ability, and his heading ability can only be said to be average. After all, midfielders do not need to train their headers. He does not need to head the ball very often, so he is not very proficient in heading. It is okay to score a little. For example, he headed the ball to Karius, who was close at hand. But now he is about 15 or 16 meters away from Henderson, and his header is a bit bad. It is a bit off. Fortunately, Henderson reacted quickly. He quickly ran towards the second landing point of the football to receive it. But at this moment, an accident happened. Isco, who had already rushed into the penalty area, predicted that Chen Mo would head the ball to Henderson. 0. So he immediately started outside the penalty area and quickly rushed to the second landing point, so that Henderson got the ball in one step. After getting the ball, he did not turn around to face the goal, but directly raised his foot and used the instep to pad the bottom of the ball. He gave the ball to Modric, who rushed up. Bang! Modric met the ball and shot it. Once a dull bang was heard. The ball rushed towards the goal. Because Chen Mo and Ronaldo had just competed for the header, the two of them fought in the air and lost their center of gravity when they fell. They all fell on the grass. The penalty area, which was already chaotic because of the competition for the header, became even more chaotic. It was this kind of chaos. Instead, Modric had space to shoot. He kicked the ball hard. Fortunately, he was not too lucky. Van Dijk reacted very promptly. He reacted quickly, rushed to the left side of the goal, jumped high and blocked Modric's sudden arrow with his chest. He blocked the ball outside the goal. But because he blocked it too recklessly, he lost his balance and fell on the grass. The ball fell back into the penalty area. Karius stood in front of the goal without much reaction. But at this moment, Ronaldo, who got up from the grass, saw the ball falling into the penalty area. He rushed forward and kicked the ball with great force, and the ball hit the goal again. Karius was stunned. His mind was blank, as if he was petrified on the spot, staring at the ball in horror. His body did not react at all. Modric shot from a distance. Beautiful. Van Dijk blocked the shot. Van Dijk stood up at the critical moment. The ball fell into the penalty area. Ronaldo seized the opportunity and made a powerful supplementary shot. Karius did not make any saves at all. #. Chen Mo. It's Chen Mo. He rushed out and blocked, 0 sure goal. After a thrilling moment. The most critical moment. At the moment when Ronaldo shot, Chen, who had not yet completely climbed up from the grass, Mo, predicted everything. At the critical moment, he didn't have time to think too much, and didn't care about anything else, he just rushed forward to block the shot. As a result, the football hit him hard on the forehead. This powerful shot. At least more than 10 kilograms of force. It made Chen Mo dizzy, and the moment he fell on the grass, he seemed to be isolated from the world. A dizzy moment. 014207511 Flylu 1934935001. Duh. A sharp whistle sounded. The referee did not give Real Madrid a chance to make up the shot. Regardless of the protests of Real Madrid players, he rushed to the penalty area and came to Chen Mo, who was lying on the grass motionless. This is when everyone reacted. After flying to block the shot hole, Chen Mo lay directly on the grass and didn't get up at all. It was like fainting. Van Dijk climbed up from the grass and immediately put Chen Mo turned over. Mo. Are you okay? He asked anxiously, waving quickly at the bench with one hand. In the coaching bench. Klopp was completely panicked. While asking the team doctor to come on the field quickly, he paced back and forth on the sidelines, his face suddenly turned pale. Sulla was injured just now. Chen Mo was injured again. Then don't play at all. Episode 99. The great sage soars into the sky and makes Belle look dumbfounded. Riding a white horse and howling in the west wind, who in the world doesn't recognize you? Chen Mo fell to the ground. The team doctor is on the field. Is Chen Mo injured? The Liverpool players are very anxious. Klopp is even more nervous on the sidelines. The moment the team doctor came on the field, the three people in the broadcasting room also became nervous instantly. Look at the replay just now. Chen Mo directly blocked Ronaldo's short-range powerful volley with his head. The power of this kick is not small. The kick was in the right place. It is estimated that there must be more than 10 kilograms of power. This hit on the head may cause a concussion. Even more serious ones may cause cervical vertebrae injuries, and the cervical vertebrae may be broken. The three people's faces turned pale. Concussion is not a big deal. But if the cervical vertebrae are broken, it will be really troublesome. In serious cases, you may die directly. In mild cases, you will be forced to end your career directly, and there is even a risk of high paraplegia. After all, the cervical spine is the most vulnerable part of the human body. All kinds of nerves pass through here. That can really kill people. It's broken. It's broken. The power of Ronaldo's kick is not small. If there is a problem with the cervical spine, his career will be over. Chen Mo really risked his life to block the goal. The team doctor was panicking when he rushed onto the field. See, Ronaldo's face turned pale. He must be scared now, at the moment when the whole stadium was tense. Some Liverpool fans, as well as Chen Mo's fangirl group, were almost in tears. Kendall was even more anxious, wishing she could run off the field immediately. Mendes had already stood up and looked towards the sidelines. If Ronaldo kicked Chen Mo's career off, he would really cry to death. Both of them were his top players. Suddenly one was ruined by the other, and he really wanted to jump off the building. The famous coaches and club owners in the stands also looked at the field nervously. But just when the Team 863 doctor was about to run to Chen Mo actually sat up by himself. He quickly moved his neck and shook his head. It's okay. Don't be nervous. I just had stars in my eyes. I was a little dizzy from the kick. It's not a big problem. Chen Mo explained quickly. He used the injury immunity card before going on the court. In addition, his body is that of a demon boy. How could he be injured so easily? The reason why he fell to the ground just now. It was completely because he was suffocated by the powerful shot. A little dizzy. The world was spinning. Just seeing stars. It is true that he will not be injured, but after all, it is a force of more than 10 kilograms. Even if he has a normal body, there will be discomfort. Give him some time to recover and he will be back to normal. Mo. Are you uncomfortable again? Is there a double vision in front of you? The team doctor ran up. He pulled Chen Mo for a while to check, and kept asking him to turn his neck to make sure that the cervical spine was indeed not injured. Then he checked the pupils and tested Chen Mo's vision, and confirmed that there was no concussion, and then he was completely relieved. They quickly treated Chen Mo's head. The skin was swollen after the kick. After everything was done, Chen Mo stood up again, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. There was even a sound of sighing in the stands. Then the Real Madrid fans started booing Chen Mo. They thought he was using his injury to trick the referee into stopping the game, interrupting Real Madrid's siege and supplementary shooting. They felt that they missed a goal because of this. They lost the chance to take the lead. For example, Ramos was scalping the referee. He was even talking trash to Chen Mo. But the referee ignored him. Try it when you get hit in the head by a close-range shot. You are lucky not to be injured. The referee shut up Ramos with one sentence. He also saw Sula's injured defense and realized that his failure to make a penalty would cause huge controversy. So he had no good feelings towards Ramos. Instead, he was full of prejudice, thinking that he had confused himself and made him make a wrong judgment. That's right. The referee was not wrong. The mistakes were all caused by others. So he naturally would not listen to Ramos's opinions and even warned Ramos. In the next game, I hope you will behave yourself. Otherwise, I will definitely not be polite to you. The referee's warning made Ramos shut up completely. Then, the referee awarded a corner kick to Real Madrid. Real Madrid did have a chance to make up the shot just now, but after seeing Chen Mo fall to the ground, they gave up the shot and the ball was kicked out of the sideline by Milner. Mo. Are you sure it's okay? After leaving the field with the team doctor, Chen Mo returned to the field and Ronaldo took the initiative to run over to show concern. The game is the game, the opponent is the opponent. But after all, they are still family members, and they have to fight in the World Cup together. What's more, even if it was a stranger, he almost injured his cervical spine because of his explosive shot. He would feel embarrassed in his heart. Besides, Chen Mo just flew to block the gun hole regardless of everything, completely disregarding his own safety and betting his career. Such behavior deserves respect from everyone. Not only is it okay, I can score a goal for you later. When Chen Mo heard Mo's words made Ronaldo smile, and his competitive spirit was aroused. Let's see who scores first. He was restricted by Chen Mo in this game. He only had 3 chances to score. 2 headers and 1 supplementary shot. As a result, 1 header was blocked, and the other didn't even touch the ball, and the supplementary shot was blocked by Chen Mo flying over to block the hole. Almost 2 sure goals were rejected by Chen Mo himself, and he was very depressed. But at the same time, the more this happened, the more competitive he became. No? He had to give it a try. It was because of this that his condition did not decline after playing the closed game. You have to admire Ronaldo's strength, which allowed him to overcome difficulties again and again. Fortunately, Chen Mo was not injured. This physical fitness is really strong. Seeing that Chen Mo was actually fine, they were no longer afraid but began to sigh for Chen Mo's strong physical fitness. In the last extra time of the first half, Real Madrid got a corner kick opportunity. Let's see how Real Madrid will deal with this corner kick. The corner kicker was Modric. He took the ball to the corner kick area, placed the football, took 2 steps back, put his hands on his waist and observed the situation in the penalty area. The Liverpool penalty area had just calmed down for a while. Before I had time to catch my breath, it became extremely lively again. Real Madrid pressed forward. It seemed obvious that they wanted to score a goal in the last minute of the first half and end the first half with a leading attitude. That was really a full-scale attack. Barani and Ramos rushed into the penalty area. Carvajal and Marcelo on the wing were also at the back of the penalty area. Only Casemiro and Kroos were waiting for opportunities outside the penalty area, trying to find an opportunity to advance and shoot from a distance. Ronaldo quickly moved his position in the penalty area. Chen Mo also stayed beside him in a position that could cover the defense in the air. TT. The referee blew a whistle. It indicated that the corner kick could be taken. The penalty area became more chaotic in an instant. There were crowds of people. Karius was flustered. He obviously hadn't recovered from Benzema's mistake. Seeing Benzema at the front point, he couldn't help but think of the situation just now. His steps were a little flustered. His eyes were fixed on Benzema, and he completely forgot that he should be staring at the football now. Bang! There was a sound. Modric gestured and immediately passed the ball. The ball went to the front of the penalty area. This time he didn't look for Ronaldo. It was probably because Ronaldo's 2 headers were covered and suppressed by Chen Mo, so he was ready to play something different. The ball landed in the front. And that position happened to be Ramos's position. Lovren rushed up and jumped high to compete with Ramos for the ball. The physical confrontation was very intense. It may be because of the mutual influence that neither of them was able to win the ball. The ball flew over the heads of the 2 people. It was a header. It was taken by Firmino, who just broke out of the penalty area. Firmino quickly dribbled the ball. The beautiful fried meatballs passed Marcelo, who came up to press and successfully protected the ball under his feet. Real Madrid players came forward to press. Obviously, there was no idea of returning to defense, just planning to countersnatch on the spot, intercept the ball and shoot directly. But Firmino's feet are very delicate. With his excellent ball control and dribbling skills, he did not lose the ball in the 3-man double team. At this moment, he ran out of the penalty area, bypassed the Real Madrid players who were pressing Firmino, came to Chen Mo behind them, and shouted at Firmino. "Pick it out." After hearing Chen Mo's voice, Firmino suddenly raised his head and locked Chen Mo's position. Immediately, it was a very coherent pick and penetrate action. The football passed over the head of his Samba teammate Marcelo and landed directly in front of Chen Mo behind him. Front point. Ramos and Lovren headed the ball. Firmino was injured in the first landing point. Marcelo, Isco, Kroos rushed up and surrounded Firmino and started to countergrab on the spot. Firmino protected the ball. The ball was not lost. Chen Mo ran behind the pressing trio, and Firmino made a jump pass. After getting the ball, Chen Mo immediately dribbled the ball and turned around, sprinting forward with the ball. Real Madrid's backcourt has a large gap. Liverpool's counterattack is coming. On the field, Chen Mo ran forward with the ball. Marcelo, Casemiro, Kroos all reacted and hurriedly chased after Chen Mo. Ramos, Barani, Carvajal ran madly towards their own half. Ronaldo took the initiative to return to defense and accelerated madly to chase Chen Mo. He and Marcelo used super speed to kill directly. Marcelo even rushed directly to Chen Mo's side and started to accelerate again, trying to surpass Chen Mo and use the blocking position to separate Chen Mo from the football. But at this moment, Chen Mo kicked the football. The football quickly rolled out a distance of 7 or 8 meters. When Marcelo saw this, he immediately accelerated madly and chased the football. Ronaldo even rushed straight to the football. System use experience card dashing Tingyun. While running and accelerating to catch up with the football, Chen Mo also gave instructions to the system. Such a large gap. The open space in the backcourt. Isn't it natural for dashing Tingyun experience card? Use successfully. The moment he got the system at the same time, Chen Mo's legs seemed to be injected with huge power, super explosive power, and his body seemed to be much lighter in an instant. Marcelo had already blocked the position in front, trying to pull himself behind him. Ronaldo also rushed towards the football. Chen Mo accelerated madly and ran past Marcelo, passing him directly to Marcelo, a record of overtaking on the curve. Marcelo caught up with his speed, and Xiaoji also ran back and forth to defend, and they both caught up with Chen Mo. Chen Mo passed the ball in advance. What is he going to do? A cry of surprise sounded in the broadcasting room. Huang Jianxiang and the other two stared at the field in amazement. After Chen Mo sent out the advance, he began to accelerate madly, and he overtook Marcelo, who was accelerating madly. He rushed towards the football madly. Then Ronaldo caught up, and Chen Mo sent out the advance again, and once again accelerated forward with all his strength. He kept widening the distance between himself and Ronaldo. ***. He rushed all the way. The speed of the great sage Tingyun, coupled with the blessing of the wind-chasing running shoes, was faster than the original speed of the experience card. In other words, it was faster than the speed of the great sage Bale in his peak period. Negative emotion value from Ronaldo, plus 86. Negative emotion value from Ronaldo, plus 139. Negative emotion value from Marcelo, plus 112. Negative emotion value from Marcelo. While sprinting. In his mind, there were constant reminders of the negative emotion value of Marcelo, who was left behind by his speed. But he didn't pay attention to it at all. He was now concentrating on accelerating with all his strength. After catching up with the football, he didn't slow down at all. Taking advantage of the fact that Ramos, Barani, and Carvajal, who were left behind by him for nearly half a field, didn't return to defense. There was no obstruction in front. He dribbled the ball directly into the penalty area. Navas, who was shocked, took the initiative to attack and blocked Chen Mo's space at the corner. But Chen Mo suddenly accelerated again and completed the lateral turn without any pause, forming a dribbling and cutting inside, passing Navas. Navas hurriedly retreated. But just as he retreated to the bottom line, Chen Mo also shot directly with his foot. Navas only retreated to the bottom line of the left goal, while Chen Mo accelerated horizontally and had already reached the right goal. Navas was out of reach, and there was no difference between shooting and pushing the empty goal. The football rolled into the goal smoothly. Experience card experience time ends. The system prompt sounded. Chen Mo suddenly lost everything brought by the experience card. His body suddenly felt uncomfortable and he stumbled forward. 1.0 He did not adjust. He took advantage of the stumbling forward and pounced towards the corner area. At the same time, he raised his arms to imitate the wings of an airplane, which was exactly the same as the celebration action of the great Saint Bale after scoring a goal. The whole audience was in an uproar. Liverpool fans celebrated crazily in the stands. Continuous acceleration. Overtake Marcelo on the curve. Eat Ronaldo alive with speed. Pass the ball to yourself 3 seconds later twice. Too crazy. Chen Mo is still joining in. High-speed change of direction without any pause, cut straight inwards horizontally. Navas's speed can't keep up at all. It's like pushing an empty goal. Beautiful. The ball goes in. At this moment, Chen Mo reproduced the style of the great Saint Bale, overtaking on the curve, accelerating and sprinting to score. A white horse whistling in the west wind, who in the world doesn't know you? After scoring the goal, Chen Mo made the same celebration as Bale. This is a direct encounter between two generations of supercars. I don't know if Bale, who is on the bench at this moment, is looking at Chen Mo scored in the same way as himself. Would he miss his youth? Would he also sigh in his heart that time is unforgiving and that the passage of time has made him no longer what he used to be? Accompanying Huang Jianxiang's emotional words, the broadcast camera did give Bale and Incy. Both of them were stunned at the moment. Zidane touched his bald head in disbelief. And behind him was the great Saint Bale. At this moment, Bale stared blankly at Chen Mo on the field, his mouth wide open, stunned as if petrified. In his mind, he couldn't help but think of the scene of eating Inter Milan's defense alive and overtaking Barcelona's defense on the curve. Just as Huang Jianxiang said. He couldn't help but recall the memory clearly, and couldn't help but sigh at the ruthlessness of time. Continuous injuries had long made him lose his former speed, and made him not valued and gradually became a marginal figure in the team. Episode 100, Ronaldo Super Elevator Ball. After Messi, the two peerless heroes all broke through the defense, the Olympic Stadium exploded. Liverpool fans exploded. All Liverpool players ran towards Chen Mo frantically. No one could have imagined that in the last minute of the first half, Chen Mo actually gave a performance that shocked the world. Liverpool fans shouted Chen Mo's name frantically. They worshipped Chen Mo again. With such a crazy performance by Chen Mo, a crazy penalty area, even if they were asked to kneel in front of Chen Mo for an hour, they would offer their knees without hesitation. The King of Anfield. Their God. In the stands. The boos of Real Madrid fans stopped. They showed incredible expressions. Some fans recalled that a few years ago, Bale at the Bernabeu, a white figure, scored crazy goals with his extremely strong speed. But now their crazy monkey king seems to have lost his magic. The conflict between him and Zidane made him sit on the bench completely, and he slowly changed from a member of the BBC Super Trident to a marginal figure now. I couldn't help sighing in my heart. Then there was another round of boos. But this time it was not for Chen Mo, but directed the booing at Bale. Because the big screen happened to give Bale a close-up shot. Boos all over the sky. And insults to Bale. Even behind the bench, Bale the pig could hear it clearly. Real Madrid's vampire. A termite lying on Real Madrid. You don't deserve to wear the Real Madrid jersey. The abuse has been there for a long time. It started when Bale was abandoned by Zidane and put on the bench, and when Bale sought to leave. It also started with Bale's injury. They forgot the honor Bale brought them without hesitation, and resolutely abandoned their former darling. This is probably the reason why the locker room completely isolated him, and Bale chose to play badly without any psychological burden. Superstar. He should have reached a better position. But it seems that everything was messed up. In front of Bale, he performed a curve overtaking and ate the defender alive. Is this considered a face-to-face attack? Feel Chen Mo's speed seems to be faster than Bale in his prime. A defensive midfielder. A midfielder. Why are you so fast? I give up. I'm in awe at this moment. Real Madrid fans are so ungrateful. They booed Bale? Bale is also capable. But he was abandoned by Zidane, and he was injured frequently. These are not his problems. The Bernabeu has always been a heartless place. No one can spend their whole life in the Bernabeu, and no one can always get cheers from the Bernabeu. Is the defense broken? I spent more than 100 million to buy a wounded player to play games, and I didn't say anything? Bale has also made contributions. I don't understand. I don't understand 80% of the time when we need a player like Dingsy. Give Real Madrid fans a good lesson. D. The referee blew the whistle to end the first half. The two teams returned to the locker room. But the atmosphere in the locker room was completely different. Liverpool was full of confidence, but Real Madrid seemed a little decadent. No one in the team wanted to stare at the score at halftime, which would be too damaging to morale. I love you. Mo. I want to give birth to a baby for you. Mo. This is the room card. Remember to come tonight. Kick Kendall's Biaja. When Chen Mo passed the players' tunnel, one side of the stand suddenly became crazy. That was where Chen Mo's female model fan club was. They screamed at Chen Mo like crazy, and even wanted to copy the action of jumping down and surrounding Chen Mo. But the security personnel had already been dispatched. They were guarding one side of the stands. No chance to jump down at all. At this moment, everyone was as if facing a great enemy, blocking the female models who wanted to rush down. Serious face. Sweat all over the forehead. She kept asking for help on the intercom. But she was very happy in her heart, even a little bit enjoying it. Although these beautiful female models were not cheering for her, she still enjoyed the feeling of being surrounded by beauties. The most important thing was that she took advantage, passively. Life reached its peak at this moment. Various small notes were thrown down the player channel. Some through room cards. Some through clothes. Some even through granary doors. She looked just like the female demon in the silk cave in Journey to the West. They really wanted to eat Chen Mo alive. It was terrible. Mo. Go. The Liverpool players were also worried that the last time Chen Mo was surrounded and taken advantage of would happen again. They rushed to Chen Mo and surrounded Chen Mo and left. It was not worrying. It was mainly envy and jealousy. This kind of thing must not happen. If I can't get the sweetness, Chen Mo can't get it either. So the group sent Chen Mo back to the locker room. Klopp had been waiting in the locker room. Seeing everyone coming in, especially the pink bud on Wijnaldum's head, Klopp widened his eyes and pursed his lips. Wijnaldum, what the hell are you doing? Huh? Wijnaldum was stunned. Just now, he had been paying attention to Chen Mo and didn't pay attention at all. Now that he was reminded, he felt the thing on his head, and when he took it off, he was so scared that his hands trembled. Duh. There was laughter in the locker room. Wijnaldum looked at Chen Mo with a face full of resentment. Your female model fans are too crazy. I might have almost ruined it. If the media took pictures of this, I would become the joke of the whole Europa. He said with lingering fear. Chen Mo pouted and added bluntly, no need to almost. There are so many media, they must have taken pictures. You will definitely be popular in Europa tomorrow. F times, my glorious image. Wijnaldum was immediately depressed. This caused another round of laughter in the locker room. Klopp smiled. The final can relieve the depressing atmosphere and definitely relieve the pressure, which is not a bad thing. Too much pressure will crush even the gods. But you can't be too relaxed, too easy. After everyone joked, they all asked about Salah's condition. Now this guy is applying ice cubes, it doesn't seem to be a big problem, and he was laughing just now. 2020. Klopp picked up the marker and tapped the tactical board, and everyone instantly focused. Although we are leading 2-1 now, we can't let our guard down. Real Madrid won't give up so easily. If you think the championship has already fallen into our hands, I can tell you that you will definitely lose miserably. We must play with 12 points in the second half. Don't hesitate. Keep attacking. Score more goals. Midfield. Henderson, you have to focus on Benzema. The top of the arc must be protected. Wijnaldum must pay attention to the top of the arc, don't miss anyone, don't give those Real Madrid guys a chance to shoot from a distance. Chamberlain. Milner. You two must pay attention to the two wingbacks of Real Madrid. Don't give them the opportunity to join the striker. I think Zidane will replace Bale in the second half. After that guy comes on the court, the pressure on both wings and the middle will increase. Once they attack, don't worry about others. Everyone must retreat and defend. Even Maine and Firmino. Come back to defend as soon as possible. Even if Bale is a substitute. Now he has gradually become a marginal figure. But the impact of the BBC trident flying on both wings is really too daunting. We must guard against it. In the Real Madrid locker room, Zidane is also making tactical arrangements. Second half. We play defensive counterattack. With Liverpool's character, they will never give up attacking. This gives us a chance. Remember, the counterattack speed must be fast. Isco should not stick to the ball. You must pass the ball immediately and provide the ball to Ronaldo and Benzema. Midfielders Modric and Kroos, when counterattacking, play more behind Liverpool, just like in the first half. The most important point. Limit Chen Mo. Don't give him a chance to shoot from a distance. Don't give him a chance to pass the ball. The moment he gets the ball. Casemiro, Carvajal, Marcelo, you three form a three-back midfielder for me. Block his shot, pass the ball. Double team him, cut off his connection with his teammates, and block his shooting space. Kroos, Modric, you also need to assist. Strangle Chen Mo to death. First half Chen Mo's performance was too outstanding. Not to mention the two goals. The passing arrangement, especially the last pass that was like a sharp dagger, was too troublesome and too dangerous. If it weren't for the effective defense in the first half. Chen Mo's last pass was full of killing intent several times, and he almost assisted Maine, Firmino, and Chamberlain to score. The role of both offense and defense is too great. In addition, find a way to create more set pieces. Corner kick. The mobile game can't penetrate Liverpool's defense. Set pieces and corner kicks are our best chances to score. Welcome everyone to continue watching the 2017/2018 Champions League final, Liverpool vs Real Madrid. The first half is over. Liverpool leads Real Madrid by 1 goal, with 2 goals from Chen Mo. Real Madrid got a good chance, but none of them scored. See Ronaldo's 3 shots. 2 must goals were missed by Chen Mo blocked it. Liverpool also had several good chances, but they failed to expand their victory. In addition, Liverpool's main striker Sala was injured, which did affect the offensive firepower. Change sides in the second half. Neither side made any substitutions. Liverpool got the ball. Liverpool started a fast break immediately. Henderson passed the ball diagonally to Chen Mo. Real Madrid immediately started a double team. Two fullbacks, Casemiro, formed a double team against Chen Mo. Chen Mo didn't have many good passing opportunities. He decisively passed back. Liverpool's attack is still going on. According to Zidane's tactics, Real Madrid did start to play defensive counterattacks. Squat defense. Cristiano Ronaldo and Benzema in the front court waited for opportunities, and Isco in the middle waited for opportunities at all times. Looking at the scene, everyone couldn't help but look at Mourinho in the stands. Isn't this the tactic Mourinho used in Real Madrid? Some famous coaches couldn't help but sigh. Defensive counterattacks are really timeless. Whether it is for passing and controlling or for high-position pressing, it is the answer. It is simply the standard answer to deal with all-out attack and defense. Of course, Zidane's defensive counterattack is different from Mourinho's tactics. Mourinho's defensive counterattack is almost squatting defense. But Zidane's defensive counterattack has the shadow of Udali's chain defense. It also incorporates the pressing of three people. It belongs to the rhythm of active pressing in defense. It is better than passively being beaten. Liverpool's crazy attack began. Chen Mo was double-teamed once he had the ball, and he didn't play too comfortably. The key forward pass and shooting space were locked by the opponent. This is uncomfortable. Fortunately, Liverpool has more than one engine. Firmino will retreat to support. Maine will also retreat to help the midfield, and Henderson, the backup engine, also started to work at this time. The attack is still smooth. On the contrary, Chen Mo was being watched, so he took the initiative to rush up to attract the target, playing a role similar to a backup. Use your body to resist the double teaming of three people, pass the ball to the people behind you, attract the opponent's defensive forces, and give the opponent more space. It also played a significant role. It created a lot of opportunities for Liverpool. But none of them broke the goal. On the contrary, Real Madrid's counterattack opportunity. Once Liverpool lost the ball, the whole army would retreat frantically, and then set up three lines of defense in the midfield, and backcourt, and continuously press and defend. Once the defense line was broken, they would immediately retreat and establish the defense line again. It also made it difficult for Real Madrid. Ronaldo was even more uncomfortable being restricted by Chen Mo. Both sides played in full swing. But Real Madrid was slow to score and failed to equalize AB. As time went by, Real Madrid fans became more and more anxious. At this moment, it was the 76th minute of the game. Real Madrid made a quick counterattack. In order to prevent Benzema from passing the ball to Ronaldo and letting Ronaldo kick the empty goal, Van Dijk chose a tactical foul. The referee called a foul. Real Madrid got a free kick. Ronaldo took the penalty. The referee decisively called a free kick. Fortunately, Van Dijk was not given a yellow card. Karius nervously arranged a human wall. Real Madrid players also rushed up, ready to cooperate with the action, and immediately made a supplementary shot after the ball was blocked. Ronaldo put the ball away. Step back a few steps. Staring at the goal, his eyes gradually became firm and sharp. The game is almost over for 80 minutes, and Real Madrid is still lagging behind. Real Madrid is now in adversity. Ronaldo is the savior who saves the team again and again in adversity. And this time he is in the position of the savior again. His eyes reveal a cold and resolute determination. He pulled up his shorts to reveal his sculptured thighs, showing his strength. Continuous deep breaths. Elevator ball. The elevator ball is just as the name suggests. The football is like being hit, but when it reaches a certain height in the air, it will fall rapidly. There is no rotation. The speed of descent is like an elevator falling to the ground. This kind of ball is often used to score free kicks, which is very confusing to goalkeepers. Ronaldo is an expert in kicking elevator balls. Kick out an elevator ball. The football flew over the wall of people, and it was about to fly out of the goal, but suddenly, the football began to fall rapidly. Karius panicked. He quickly stepped back and raised his arms. But at this moment, Chen Mo suddenly rushed out, accurately predicted the trajectory of the ball's fall, jumped high, and headed the falling ball. The moment Ronaldo took a free throw, Chen Mo quickly retreated from the wall and ran wildly. Sure enough, the ball fell. It was an elevator ball. Through God-level prediction, Chen Mo jumped high. He headed the ball out. Chen Mo. It's Chen Mo again. He quickly retreated, predicted the fall of the ball, jumped high, and headed the ball out. The moment he saw the ball didn't go in, Ronaldo jumped up in anger. Especially Chen Mo. Why is it him again? He is just haunting me. Is it so difficult to score a goal with Chen Mo around? Negative emotion value from Cristiano Ronaldo, plus 3,699. After Messi, the two great players have both broken through the defense.